Oh, wow. Remember that loot box video that I made on the last video? Well, there's a movement going on in the gaming industry, and governments are starting to take notice on greedy practices. I literally just covered this in the last video, the loot box video. I was not expecting to see this news today. I mean, I just saw it from a Young Year video. Apparently, governments and stuff are gonna crack down on greedy practices of these corporations. Of course, this is only the beginning, but governments, laws, these greedy practices need to stop. And the movement is growing. This movement of greedy practices in video games has gone on long enough. Like I said, there was loot boxes, but now there's also the microtransactions, battle passes, manipulating tactics that they do to get you to buy microtransactions, battle passes. Basically, everything is timed when it comes to these systems. And they're going to crack down on it. This is only the beginning. If there's any news or updates on this, I'll make a follow-up video. But dang, I never knew that this day would come. They're starting to crack down on greedy practices in video games. I mean, these practices basically affect children. So it is good that they're trying to, gonna start this movement to get rid of greedy practices. Basically, pass laws and have governments stand up to these big corporation giants, and just take down these greedy practices. Us gamers, has had to deal with this bull crap for so long. Not just us gamers as adults, but also teens and kids. It is finally time that developers and artists and stuff has more creative freedom and less greedy practices. The less we can get these greedy practices down, the more creative freedom that developers and artists will have. Because honestly, in the past, that's what's been lacking in gaming. Just the creative aspect has been ruined by greed so many times, just to ruin the level design with these microtransactions and pay to win practices. That's the reason why we're in this situation in the first place, is because these greedy practices are getting so bad that it's basically ruined the gaming industry. And I think it's finally time to crack down on these greedy practices and give gaming a good direction finally. I love gaming so much. My best memories was back in the 2000s. It was the golden age of gaming. Only that, but also 1990s and 1980s, but you get my point. Gaming was an art form. Then it turned into a greedy form. So, if we get rid of the greedy form, we can come back to the creative form. The video game art of video games. This is going to be a long and hard journey for all of us. But If we can get these corporations to tone down monetization, manipulating tactics, it will help gaming in the long run. Because we won't have to deal with greedy practices with these companies, these corporations, these big giants. They have ruined the gaming industry for far too long. And it's finally time to give the gaming industry the legs that needs to succeed.